have seen in the previous lectures that there are two kinds of electric charges, positive and negative. And the two very basic natures of electric charges are like charges repel each other and unlike charges attract each other. Positive charges means it is the charge of proton and negative charges means charge of electrons. Both are having a charge which is equal in magnitude but opposite in sign. So these are the very basic natures of electric charges. In today's lecture, we will discuss some other properties of electric charges which is very important. Before that, we need to understand what is a point charge means. If the size of the charged bodies are very small as compared to the distance between them, then we consider it as point charges. It is just like we see a star from the earth. It looks like a point object in space, right? So, for a point charge, all the charge content of the body is assumed to be concentrated at one point in space. Now consider 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 and they are separated by distance r. If the distance between these two charges are large compared to its size, then they are considered as point charges. And point charges may be positive or negative. Now let's see what are the properties of electric charges. The first property is additivity of charges. Charges are additive in nature, which means we can add charges like real numbers because electric charges are scalar quantity. It has only magnitude but no direction. So charges can be added by the simple rules of algebra, just like we add the masses of the body. But the only difference is mass is always a positive quantity, whereas charge can be positive or negative. Suppose if a system contains 2 point charges Q1 and Q2, then the total charge of the system is the algebraic sum of these two charges. That is, Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2. Now, if we add more and more charges like Q3, Q4, Q5, etc. up to Q1, then the total charge of the system Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 plus up to Qn. This is the algebraic sum of all the charges on the system. This is additivity of charges. Now, let's do some examples. Question number 1. The charges of the system are plus 1 coulomb, plus 3 coulomb and minus 4 coulomb respectively. What would be the total charge of the system? The total charge of the system is the algebraic sum of these three charges. So Q is equal to 1 coulomb plus 3 coulomb plus minus 4 coulomb, which is equal to 0. Now consider another system that contains charges plus 2 coulomb, minus 8 coulomb and plus 1 coulomb respectively. What would be the net charge of the system? Similarly, the net charge of the system is the algebraic sum of these three charges. So Q is equal to 2 coulomb plus minus 8 coulomb plus 1 coulomb, which is equal to minus 5 coulomb. Note here that proper sign have to be used while adding the charges in a system. That is why we have said it is the algebraic sum of charges. So we have to consider the positive and negative sign of the charges. This is the addition nature of charges and it is a scalar quantity. The second property is charge is conserved. In physics, you can see many conservation laws. Even you have studied in the previous year about conservation of momentum and conservation of energy. Similarly, charges are also conserved. Suppose when you rub two bodies, for example, silk cloth and glass rod. During the rubbing process, the glass rod loses some of the electrons and becomes positively charged, and silk accepts the electrons and becomes negatively charged. Initially, the silk and glass rod system are neutral. When they rub each other, they get charged. Suppose glass rod acquires a charge of plus 5 coulomb, then silk acquires minus 5 coulomb charge. Then the total charge of the system after rubbing is plus 5 minus 5, which is equal to 0. So before and after the rubbing process, the total charge of the system is same, or we can say it is conserved. Here, we are not created or destroyed the charges. Only transfer of charges takes place from one body to another body. But the total charge remains constant. So this is law of conservation of charge. And it states that charge can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transferred from one body to another. That is, total charge of the isolated system is always conserved. So this is law of conservation of charge. The third property is quantization of charge. When you rub two bodies, they get charged. Now, my question is, how much is the quantity of charge on the body? This answer we will get from the third property of electric charge. So, when two bodies rub each other, charges will transfer. Now, who carries the charge? The answer is electron carries the charge. The charge of one electron is E. If n number of electrons are transferred, then this is n into E. This is the amount of charge on the body, and it is denoted by Q is equal to n into E. N is always be an integer. It cannot be a fractional number. N means it is the number of electrons transferred from one body to other. We cannot transfer fractional number of electrons like half E or 3.8 E like that, because it is the smallest entity and we cannot broken an electron. So n cannot be a fractional number. It should be a whole number. We can only transfer 1 electrons, 2 electrons, 3 electrons like that. So n should always be an integer number. So this is quantization of charge, and it states that electric charge on a body is always an integral multiple of basic unit of charge, that is the charge of an electron. Q is equal to Ne, where n can have values like 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, etc. Quantization of charge was first proposed by Michael Faraday when he put forward his experimental law of electrolysis, and it was experimentally demonstrated by Millikan in 1912 using his oil drop experiment, and he measured the charge on an electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So 1 coulomb of charge contain N is equal to 6 into 10 raised to 18 electrons, which is a very large number. So in electrostatics, we seldom use such a large units. We often use smaller units like 1 microcoulomb or 1 millicoulomb charges. Now, why quantization of charge can be ignored at macroscopic level? The charge on any body is an integral multiple of E, that is, Q is equal to Ne. If N equal to 1, Q is equal to 1E, which is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. If N equal to 2, Q is equal to 2E, which is 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. If N equal to 3, Q is equal to 6.4 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, and so on. So this is increasing, and this increase is not continuous. Rather, it is in a steps of E. If you transfer 1 electron, then the quantity of charge is 1E. If you transfer 2 electrons, then Q is 2E. There is no transfer of electrons between them because electrons cannot be broken. Hence, charge on any body is an integral multiple of electronic charge, and it is increased or decreased in steps of E. And this step size is very small because at macroscopic level, we deal with charges of few microcoulomb or millicoulomb. At this scale, the charge on bodies increased or decreased in unit of E is not visible. Just like if you take 3 apples from a box that contain 1000 apples, it does not make any difference in the box. Similarly, if you deal with charges of very large magnitude, it does not make any difference in the charge. We know 1 coulomb of charge contains 6.2 into 10 raised to 18 electrons, and 1 microcoulomb contains 6.2 into 10 raised to 12 electrons, which is an extremely large number. So, if electrons are added or removed from such bodies, it hardly makes any difference in the charge. So, the step size is not visible in macroscopic level. Rather, it looks like a continuous charge distribution. But in reality, the charge on a body is increased or decreased in steps of E, not a continuous distribution. Therefore, quantization of charge has no practical consequence in macroscopic level. Hence, it can be ignored. But at microscopic level, the charges involved are of the order of few tens or hundreds of E, which are smaller magnitudes. That is, they can be counted and the charges appears in discrete lumps. If there is a transfer of electrons takes place in such magnitude, it makes a difference in charge. So, increase or decrease of charge on a body in units of E is visible in microscopic level. Therefore, quantization of charge is applicable at microscopic level and it is not possible at macroscopic level. In today's lecture, we have discussed about three basic properties of electric charges. They are additivity of charges, conservation of charge, and quantization of charge. In the next lecture, we will discuss about Coulomb's law and its proof.